We are making a Kaleidoscope photography project or digital art project using the online photo editor Photopea.com. To start your project, you're going to need to have a photograph that is cropped into a square. So once you have Photopea open, you can go ahead and you need to start, like I said, with a square photo. So I'm going to show you guys how to get your photo square. I'm going to choose Open from Computer. And then I am going to choose the photograph that I want to make into my kaleidoscope image today. I'm going to choose a picture of some flowers that will open, and on the left-hand side in the toolbar, I'm going to select the crop tool. I'm going to choose where it says free up in the top left-hand corner, and I'm going to change my aspect ratio to 1:1. This is basically a square. From here, I can grab the little handles on the outside of the photo and I can stretch or shrink this square and move that square around the composition to include, whatever I want included. I want to crop out some of this background, some of this junk in the background. So I'm just going to move my square down. When I like my composition, I'm going to hit the confirm check mark. And now I have a square here. In order for me to save this photograph, I'm going to hit File, export as JPEG, and then I'm going to name this last name, first initial KS, so Kaleidoscope Square. Nothing fancy, but that just gives me something to start with. And I'm going to go ahead and hit save. So that is saving it to my downloads. I'm going to want to go ahead and put that into my Google Drive for our project, just so I'm able to locate that when I need to start fresh. So from here, I can close this. I did save this. So I'm going to hit new project. And then over here, I'm going to make sure I title this correctly. So I'm going to say last name, first initial, Kaleidoscope. Kaleidoscope. That's a tricky one if you don't use that word on the daily. I'm going to click this drop down and change it from pixels to inches, and then I'm going to put 12 for the width and 12 for the height and 300 pixels per inch in the DPI. That changed my size, so I'm just going to change this back to 12. Okay, 12, 12, 300. Everything else here is fine. I'm going to click create when I am ready, and that is going to open up, a white square. From here, I'm going to go ahead and add some guides that's going to make this easier to complete. So in order to add new guides, I'm going to click View in the top toolbar, and then I am going to scroll down until I see Add Guides. Now, I want to change from pixels to inches because I set my canvas up in inches, and I'm going to change this to 6 horizontal and 6 vertical because I know my canvas was set up as 12 inches, and I want a line in the middle of the canvas, both vertically and horizontally. So that's going to be 6 and 6. So here I've got some grid lines. So I've got a 2x2 grid here. All right, now I need to get my image in here. I'm going to select File in the top toolbar and then choose Open and Place. I'm going to find the photograph, the square photograph, in my downloads folder because that's where I last had it. And then I'm going to take that square photo, I'm going to drag it up to the top left-hand corner of my canvas, and I'm going to stretch it until it hits that grid line right there and fits in the box. So it should fit in this top left quadrant here perfectly. From here, and to do that, I just clicked on it. You could also click the Move tool over here in the top left-hand corner if you need to move that around again. You will notice over here in the layers panel, you can see my photograph here. I need to duplicate this layer. So in order to do that, I'm going to right click on my layer, or you can control click. If your Chromebook or computer is not able to right click, you can control click. And I'm going to duplicate layer up here at the top. When I click that, I now see in my layers panel on the right-hand side of the screen, I've got my original photo and then I have a copy of that photo. I'm going to grab my Move tool and I'm going to move that over to the right quadrant, so the top right quadrant. From here, with this layer selected, so I've got the copy selected, I need to flip this and mirror it. So with that layer selected, I'm edit and then transform and then flip horizontal. So now you can see I have a mirrored image. Okay, so it looks like there's a mirror right down the center. I'm going to take these two layers. I'm going to hit the control key, which, oops, actually on my computer, it's the command key. And I'm going to click both of these at the same time. And then I'm going to merge these together. So I'm going to right click and then merge the layers. So now when I move this, it's going to move as one. With this new copy selected, I'm going to right click, duplicate layer, and that made another copy. From here, I'm going to go ahead and slide that down, and then I'm just going to repeat the steps. I need to mirror this now. So I am going to select Edit, Transform. This time, I want to flip vertically. There we go. So now it's starting to look like a kaleidoscope, but we're going to alter this even further. It would be a good idea to save your work at this point. So I can hit File and then Save as PSD. And this is going to save this as a Photoshop document on my computer. If I ever needed to open up this document again, if I have the download saved to my computer, I can open this up in Photopea again, and it will preserve all of these layers in the right-hand corner here in the bottom right, so I'm able to continue editing this. All right, from here, I am going to go ahead and select both these layers again, and I'm going to merge the layers. And at this point, you have a background layer here. You can actually select the background and just delete that. The only thing you need right now is your single layer of the 4 mirrored images. So now we're going to do the next kind of set of edits here. On the left-hand side in the toolbar, we are looking for the polygonal lasso select. So I'm pretty sure it's in this rectangle select tool. So I right-clicked here and I'm going to choose this one right here, the polygonal lasso select. This is going to bring up a little crosshairs. And what I want to do is highlight a triangle in the top portion of this photograph. So I'm going to start by clicking in the top left-hand corner. And you can see as I stretch this to the middle, it's drawing a line. It does kind of click to the center guidelines. So I'm going to click the center. And then I'm going to bring it up to the top right in the very corner. And then I'm going to click again. And then I'm going to drag this line all the way over here to the top left again and select. I will now see this kind of dotted line. That is my selection. So once I have the dotted line, I'm going to go up to the top and I'm going to hit select, and then I'm going to select inverse. This is taking that triangle and it's highlighting everything opposite of that triangle. From here, I'm just going to hit delete and everything except that top triangle is going to go away. This triangle is now going to be what I duplicate around my composition. So I'm going to hit select and then deselect so nothing is selected. And then I'm going to repeat the process of duplicating my layers to duplicate this 3 more times. So I'm going to click on my layer. I'm going to right click, duplicate layer. I'm going to hit my select tool in the toolbar and hopefully, yep, there we go. I'm going to move this over. And then if I mouse over this top like handle here, the top little square, and if I hold down my shift key, here you can see this is with my shift key held down. This is with my shift key not held down. So if you hold the shift key, you'll have a little bit more control over making sure that that rotates correctly. And then I'm just going to butt this right up to my other photo. So there we go. I've got it halfway. Now you can either duplicate this triangle again, and then you can, repeat that 2 more times. But I'm actually going to merge these 2 layers together. So merge the 2 layers. So now you have one big triangle, and then I'm going to duplicate the layer again. And then I'm going to hold my shift key down and rotate. I'm not even going to move it this time. I'm just going to rotate it around. And then I'm going to hit the checkbox. There we go. So now I have a full kaleidoscope. If you want, you can highlight both layers and merge the layers again. But at this point, we're about ready to export this as a JPEG, so it doesn't matter that much. So I'm going to go ahead and click File, Export as JPEG. And then don't pay attention to this preview. If I zoom out, you can see I can zoom in and out here. I'm going to make sure that my name is correct up here. So the file name is correct. It's saved as a JPEG. And then I can go ahead and hit save. That's going to go in my downloads. From there, I'm going to go to my shared Google Drive folder. I'm going to put my artwork in there. I'm going to turn it in through Google Classroom. Or just make sure that it's in a folder. You'll have to look for directions on that. But that should be what you need to do to complete this kaleidoscope in the Photopea editor.